Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Marcie, best current independent demonstrator with Stamping Up, and I am from Clovis, California. Thank you for joining me on this Wednesday evening. I hope everybody had a fabulous Labor Day weekend, and I am excited to be here and share with you a snowflake card. You know, I'm working on my Elegant Pines Snowflakes class, but there are two other sets of snowflakes bundles that I wanted to play with. So that's what we're going to do tonight. And some of the items I may be using will also be in the class. But again, it's probably a sentiment, and that you would have to do your own stamping of sentiments. But these are great alternatives if you don't have that stamp set that you're looking for. Hi, everybody. Hi, Jackie. I can't go up farther than that. Hi, Carol, Sherry, Marva, Marcia, Stacy, Carrie. Thanks for sharing, you guys. I appreciate it. Hi, Gloria. Hi, Anna. Hi, Steph. Hi, Dina, Crystal, Deborah, Juanita, and Paula. Welcome, everybody. Thanks, you guys. So I missed my short hair. It is so much easier to do. When I went to Florida and we were in Disney World and Universal Studios and everything, it was raining. It was horrible. It was humid. Not horrible, but the weather was we got really caught in the rain. But I was like, man, my hair looks like crap. When it's short, there's really nothing you can do with it. You can't pull it up, get it out of the way. You can't do anything. So I bought my first official visor when I was in at Universal. No, I think it was Disney World. I bought it because it was hot and sweaty and everything. So I thought, do I really want to deal with longer hair and having to curl it every day to have it available to pull it up or half up or whatever when I'm traveling? And so I was like, or do I want it short and sassy and something quick and easy I can do 360 days of the year, and then the 5 days a year if it's crazy weather, I have a fun Disney visor that I could wear. So I decided cut it, and it's so much easier because I blow dry it. It's product. I don't even have to put a curling iron to it. I just use a little curl brush and I'm done. And since I'm home most of the time, this is easy peasy for me. So thanks, you guys. I appreciate it. It's funny, when I was younger, my mom was a hairdresser and she always said, oh, honey, you don't ever want to wear short hair. And so I just never did. My sister did, but she has really thick hair. I do not have thick hair. So if I let it grow longer, it just weighs it down and it just doesn't give it that body. Because even when I'm with somebody and I go, feel my hair, because it's not as thick as you think. And then when they go to feel it, they're like, oh, apparently I have a lot of hair. I just have skinny hair. So yay me. Anyway, so I remember my sister having big pigtails, like huge pigtails. And she just took her scissors and she just cut off her pigtail. And then she had this big pom-pom. And my mom, of course, freaked out because she was a hairdresser. And my sister ended up with the Dorothy Hamill haircut because there was no alternative for that hair. So thank you so much. Thanks, Judy, for saying I look younger. Actually, Stephanie says the same thing because I said, all right, long hair, short hair. I asked about 10 friends, long hair, short hair, which I already had my mind set on short hair. But only 2 people said long. So anyway, thank you, everybody. So let's jump in. Yay! You can see the catalog. Hopefully you all have it. If you do not have it and you do not have a demonstrator and you need one, let me know. The top of my blog, which is right here, it'll say contact me, and then there's a little link. You can fill it out to get a catalog. Put something in the notes section because you would be surprised at how many times we get requests for catalogs, but it's 20 different names with the same address, or it just seems weird, the email. So if you look it up, it's like an empty field. I mean, it's crazy what we get for requests for catalogs, and we pay for these. So please, if you need one and you don't have a demonstrator, let me know. fill out the form, but put a little section in the notes section that says, saw your video, want a catalog, something like that. I was a hairdresser for over 50 years. Carol, you were. Thanks. Thanks for loving my hair. My mom is a hairdresser. So, switching hairdressers when you're in your, 30s, because my mom lived farther away. I had kids. It was hard. Probably in my late 20s, I had to find a hairdresser because my mom did my hair my whole life. And she went up against Sebastian and all those people, and she did the feathering contest in the Bay Area, San Francisco area. They would travel up to the shows and all that stuff. So my mom is very good. So switching was rough, but I now have a lady I love. So she's young and hip and all that good stuff. Lots of hair, but fine, Deborah. Yeah. So it's funny because when I curl my hair or, use stuff on it, all I'm doing is straightening out what little body I have. And this is the body that I have right here. But with straightener or curling iron, then it's like this. So anyway, I bet I know one of them. Oh, you do, Anna. You do. All right. So anyway, I'm excited to say on page 53, is our what we're going to be working with, and I'll show you a little more details in that, but let's jump to some quick important stuff. The new holiday catalog is available, so you can go shopping. Don't forget to get the items you want. If you have registered for my class or plan on it and want to get the class for free, don't forget to look at the online exclusive items. And there's 2 new kits out, which I forgot to post pictures today of them, but really cute. One's a red truck. It's real, country Christmassy, really cute. And the other one is what we're using for World Card Making Day. So that's the other one that's available. So don't forget online exclusives. On my blog, again, right here, at the top, it says online exclusives. Click on that. It'll take you right to the online exclusives, and it will show you the most current ones at the top. So you can see all the new goodies there, which is where you're going to find the Elegant Pines Snowflake bundle. And that's what I'm using in my upcoming class. So I am super excited about this class. I just cannot tell you. I love snowflakes. So anyway, so that is coming up. Registration's open for that. Again, if you want the class for free, if you're going to get the Elegant Pine Snowflake suite, buy it from me and get a class for free. You're going to not be disappointed with this class. I can tell you. This class is a deal. I've showed it to a couple people and fellow demonstrators, and they're like, you are not charging enough. But that's okay. It is going to be a fantastic class, and I've had so much fun creating with this. September Bingo is open and ready for registration. Your links are below. So if you click on the More button there down underneath in the description area, all the links to the classes and Bingo are there to register. I do have 3 paper shares left. You take each paper pack and divide it by 4. So I was on an odd number with 3 remaining. So I will have 3 paper shares. I did overnight the paper. It will be here tomorrow. I have my labels already made, everything ready to go. I just have to cut up the paper and stuff the envelopes and get the mailing envelopes done, which I will do labels tomorrow while I'm waiting for the paper. So that is available. I do have flat rate medium boxes still available, and I do have prizes in some of them. I did like the first 15, I think, has a free gift in it from me, and it's a super great gift. So that is available. Now, I have been asked by several people, if I purchase the suite from you for the class and add a little bit, because I think that ends up $91. And if you add a couple other things to make it over 100, would that qualify for a box? It would not. That would be like double dipping. I'm giving you a box of a lot of goodies for a $100 order. So if you are getting the Elegant Plain Snowflake bundle from me for the class, just add another $100 in sales, whatever you need. Add that, and so if your order then is over the $191, then you will get a free box also. Okay. So there is that. You do need to register for the class, but you don't need to let me know that you ordered the bundle. I can see when your order comes in, if you're registered, that I'm waiting for you to get that bundle so I can mark you off paid. So that's kind of how that works. All right, so Paper Pumpkin, you have a few days left, a week before this September Paper Pumpkin will not be available. So you have until September 10th. And this one coordinates with the Autumn Toile class, suite. So it looks like it's going to be a great Paper Pumpkin. I love it when they coordinate with stuff we already have. And let's see, I do have some new QR codes. We have some new codes through Stampin' Up, although I do make them through another way also, but I thought it'd be really cute to kind of show you. Looks like I chose on these 3 ink pads and then 1 card as my little cute templates there. So there are the QR codes for those of you that use those. If you don't know how to use the QR codes, it's super simple. Take your phone, put it on camera, put it up there, and you'll see a little orange bubble pop up. Click on it, and it'll take you to the website or to wherever I'm pointing you to. Shopping, my classes, bingo, my PDFs for sale, that kind of thing. That way, it's kind of gets you used to. Some restaurants through COVID did that, right? And you would go see your menu instead of them bringing you menus. You just click on the QR code and read the menu on the phone, which don't forget your glasses because that's not easy to do. But hi, Diane from Michigan. So I still have my cough a little bit, so bear with me. All right, so let's just jump in and get started. I'm super excited. So here is the catalog. Let me just zoom this out a tiny bit so you can see the catalog here. So you can see they use the stencils here. This is the Snowy Delights bundle. And you have your stencils or your masks. And then you have your dies here. And then we have our stamp set. Really a great stamp set. The Snowy Kisses, which I'm going to show you everything we're going to use right now. We are going to use, so here is, let's jump in here. So here is the Snowy Delights. We're not even using the stamp set. I don't even know if I brought it over here. Let me look. I did not because we're not using it, but let me grab it really quick just so I can show it to you. It's in my bucket for my class. Okay, so here is Snowy Delights. And I have not even used the stamp set yet, but I have used the stamps. But this is a great set because you have your outside, the next one in that cuts out the snowflake. You have an extra die. You have an oval here for some words. Another snowflake here. Oh, look, I don't like them to lay on top of each other. There we go. I'll have to fix that. Well, we're going to use them anyway. And then you've got this die cut one out that puts snowflakes in your paper. So, and I have 2 of them, of course. And then I just slide my stencils or my mask right in between. So I know whenever I'm bringing out my dies that I'm going to be using the stencils probably, or could be. So there's that. We're going to use that. We are using the Snowflake Kisses, which here is the stamp set. We're going to use the sentiment here, Let It Snow. We're going to use this die here, this die, and this die here with the little snowflakes. And we're going to use perennial postage because we're going to use a large postage. And then we also are going to use Merry Christmas and Happy Wishes for the inside. So I thought with the Let It Snow, they're both kind of a cutesy, whimsical kind of, and even though they're a little bit different, I wanted to put something inside that said Merry Christmas, being that I'm doing Let It Snow outside. And I have some other thoughts to share, and I'll show you those too. All right, so here is the card we're going to do. We're going to do it a little bit different. You're going to notice, I don't know if you can notice, this one has, see the white? It's glimmer, the shimmer paste on there, and I used it, but we're not going to use it this time because I want to see what the difference is with using the die. So we're going to do that. But first, I wanted to jump in. Somebody, actually, several people asked me about bingo coming up. What are we going to be using? So this is what I can show you 3 of them right now. We're going to use this one, and they don't have all their embellishments and all their dies in them yet. And then this one. So this one is going to be a sympathy card. When my husband came in and asked for a sympathy card, it was a lot of flowers. And he was like, oh, it's for a guy, his wife or, whatever. And he's like, I'd rather it be a little more, masculine. So I decided to do that. This one, I can't wait to show you. It's fabulous. This one doesn't even have all the pieces in it yet. And then the other one, there's 2 more. One I can't show you because it'll give you total dead giveaway because it's different than a card. And then the other one is a whole, like 9 die pieces are still missing out of it. So all you're going to see is a card stock. And it is a masculine card also. So anyway, that gives you a little bit about bingo that's coming up. I know I don't show the cards, but I thought I'd kind of, oh, here's the card that has 9 pieces missing, 9 die pieces missing out of it. So I did grab one to show you. All right, let's get busy. All right, so I kind of started a kit because I know we're going to do a lot of the stenciling and it's going to take some time. That was number 1 reason. Number 2 reason is I used all my, I call it cloud cover, all of this glimmer paper, but I have one. We're going to put the card together. But I want to show you how I got all of this because I just ordered more of this. So I wanted to make sure that I could put it together. So I had little pieces to do this. So I'm going to move all of this aside. Let's go ahead and add our inside together, of course. We're going to use a little bit of the paper. The paper I got from our Elegant Pines that we're using for the class. And it's going to be this side, and then this is the other side. Okay, so it's the same as this one here. All right, so we're going to use that one because I really wanted the color and not necessarily the design because we're going to cover a lot of it up. But we definitely want to put it on the inside of a card to kind of accent. So I'm going to use liquid glue on this one. So this is just 3/4. Oh, did you guys notice on my last video, speaking of measurements, that I messed up and I forgot to show the measurements, but I posted them in the comments at the end and down below in the comments. Oh, what a mess. I knew I was going to forget that. So I'm going to give you this quick look right here for measurements, which is the largest perennial postage dies. I tell you the DSP measurement right there, and then the colors I used on this snowflake. But we're going to change it just a little bit. And I kind of worked that out like right before the video. Well, kind of, and I'll tell you what I mean. So I'm going to just trim that piece right there. We're going to add, oh, I guess I could have trimmed after I added this. Let's see. Oh, this is going to be really close. All right. So we're going to add a little bit of glue here, add a little bit of our shimmer, which I had to grab off of the edge, my glimmer paper. I love that glimmer paper. All right, so we have that. And then we're going to go ahead, it's on a dark card base, so we're just going to go ahead and add this. I'm noticing this is just a tiny bit long right here, so let's trim that. There we go. All right, there we go. There's that. We can set that aside. Actually, we're going to go ahead and do the large postage too. And this is our piece here that I told you is written down 3 3/8 by 4 5/8. So let's go ahead and adhere that to our postage I liked the white. It looked nice and crisp against the darker background, and this has white in it, so I thought, all right, I'm gonna do this. Notice when I do my cutting, these are straight and these are straight, but like if I had it like this, you could definitely see that these are straight. I like it a little more zigzaggy. So even though these are straight, I like it better that way than this way because these are closer and then you can tell they're definitely in a line. But this one looks a little more scattered and that's how I like it. All right, so let's see. Just center that. I'm going to lift this, pull it over a tiny bit. There we go. All right, so we can add this one now. And I have a little tip and trick to show you that I did on this card. Now, what I didn't do, because I made several of these cards and I should have, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I had a bunch of scrap pieces, so I was able to do all my little pieces here. But normally, I would take this center glimmer piece and I would cut out this and then the die that does these little 4 right here. There's 4 of them. Let me see if I can get them over here. There's 4 of them there. And I would normally cut them out of the center because you're popping it up and you're adding layers on it. No one's going to know anyway. So that's what I would normally do. But I didn't do that because I had a bunch of scraps and I thought, oh, I'm going to use these first. And I should have cut them out of the center, but that's what I recommend. All right, clean that a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to get busy and get started on our coloring. So what I'm going to do is there's a couple different ways to do it. I prefer to use my little Sizzix sticky, where's my packaging? I pulled out to show you. This right here. 5 sheets of sticky grid sheets. They're perfect for this. So I already used this one once. I'm going to stick it right here on my mat. Okay. And it just sticks. It will not. I kind of do this just to add a little bit of, to take off a little bit of that sticky so that it doesn't, peel your card up or anything. We're going to just stick that as long as you guys can see it in camera, and that's good. Will this be the bonus card for bingo? It's so pretty already. This card, no, this is just a video card. And it's not part of the Snowflake class because it's not the only thing is that paper is from that suite. So I recommend getting the other Snowflake sets too. All right, so what we're going to do, but it's easy enough. You're going to have the paper already. And those of you that are doing the paper share are going to have this much. You could do it with this piece of paper. All right, because that is included. All right, so we're going to pull out our stencils. I fold the little sticky part in because I don't like it to get stuck on my stuff here. So I'm going to fold that in. We are going to start with stencil number 1 right here. Notice I don't have grid sheet underneath me like to write on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right up on my paper. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. So it will fit. I'm not die cutting this one out. Well, I should, but I could go 4 1/4, a little bit bigger. But, or you can turn it and do it this way because you'll have more space around the edges to put your die. I already have one done because I ran out of the glimmer paper. So we're just going to do it like this. Now, if you want, you can tape this down. You can hold it down, whatever. I'm just going to hold it. But if you want to tape it down, that's fine. What I do though, and some ones you don't have to do it, but this one, I'm going to show you how to do it. This one's fairly easy, so I really don't. But I'm going to mark it. And I'm just going to put with my trusty Stampin' Right marker. See, I did my little mark there. So I know then I'm going to go up and go to that point. I don't always look at it for this particular stencil because it's fairly easy to use. So let me just show you. The first color we're going to do is, let me move this stuff out of the way here. We're going to use our cloud cover. So if you do not have cloud cover, get the reinker, get your, where did my cloud cover go? Get your reinker, get your, a white pad and put your reinker on there. Or like we did our black one that I showed you before. You can get a stamping spot if you want. Whatever, you can use a dauber if you want. I happen to have a pad, so I'm just going to use this. I'm going to hold it down right there where the little mark is. I start off and then I come on because I don't want it super dark, but I definitely want it to be seen. Okay, so I'm just going to go and I'm going to come closer so you guys can see a little bit better. So I start off and then just come on. Remember when you're doing this, if you are just holding it, to really hold it, make sure your stencil's not moving. Okay, I'm going to go, I want a little darker. And it depends on what the look you're going for. We're going to do this one a little bit different than my other one. We're not going to use the glimmer paste. Paste is easy enough. All you do is wipe it over it. I want to see what the design actually looks like. Okay, so my stencil tried moving a little bit. You can totally see where the stencil needs to be. So just move it back. All right, so I think that is dark enough. Look how pretty that is. All right, now what I do with this now, so that it's easy, is I'm going to move my silicone mat over just to the side of me, and then I lay it on there and I take a baby wipe and I just wipe it. But when there's a silicone mat underneath, it's so much easier. And then make sure you fold your baby wipe over and wipe it off again and get all that color off, because when you go to use it for something else, you want to make sure it's okay. But you also want to be careful of like these little guys right here. Okay, so I like to kind of go upward and inward so that you're going along with the plastic, and then take a wipe and just kind of quickly go over it. And then I'm going to set that aside and we're going to go on to number 2. So right here, it says number 2, kind of hard to see. Make sure your notch is over here. So you're going to put it up there. But if you look at this stencil, it really just lines up great with the project that you're using. So the next color we're going to use is Lost Lagoon. All right, so I'm going to go use my Lost Lagoon. And this one is also my Pretty Peacock. So what I want to do is get a tissue. And I probably use Pretty Peacock last. So I'm just going to kind of rub each way, left, right, up, down, and just get the majority of that. See how much lighter it is now? Just kind of get that off. And then I'm going to go in with the Lost Lagoon. Make sure that's aligned. Okay. Keep your hands straight. There we go. Start off. Remember, some of your ink pads are going to be a lot more inky than others. So make sure that you kind of tap off and start it off so that you can kind of see how heavy it is. You don't want it to get too heavy. Right? Now I'm going to hold that and adjust my hand just a little bit. And then it just depends on, how much dark color you want. I'm going to make this just a little darker. Make sure you get all your tips, because remember, when you pull this off, you're going to be able to tell where it's not at. Okay. All right, so that's good. Look how pretty that is. All right, so again, I'm going to take this over to the side, use my baby wipe here and get it all clean and get the color off. If you do use the shimmer paste, you definitely want like a bucket of water or something to, sometimes I just take baby wipes and I just lay them on the top and the bottom of my stencil just to keep that moisture to help get that color off. Okay, so look how pretty that is all by itself already. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come in with Pretty Peacock. And we are going to come in with stencil number 3. So look at, make sure it's number 3. The other thing I do like to do is I'm going to grab another one. I like to put this here. It's a little easier. You don't have to hold on to it. You can kind of, because it doesn't move as much as if it didn't have that underneath. All right, so we are going to, I'm looking at the center, looking at the flower. You can look up here too, but also just make sure you're looking at your design. It doesn't have to be exact, but you want it pretty darn close. All right, so there we go. I'm happy with that. So here we go. You can tell my Pretty Peacock is pretty inky, right? So start off. And remember, you want to hold on to the table too, not just your stencil, because your stencil will slide. So let's make sure we get our Pretty Peacock on here. And I want this fairly dark. So just get it whatever color you want. Make sure you get all those little circles. Thank you guys so much for the thumbs up. Oops, see how it moved? Be really careful. As soon as it moves, lift up because you'll see a big old boo-boo on your card. All right, I think that is good. So lift that up. Look how pretty that is. Now here is the point where I was at when I decided to use the shimmer paint. And I'm going to tell you, it's hard to see, number one, unless you're a person. So for video, it's going to be really difficult to see. Number two, if you are a fast and easy kind of Stampin' Up or a card maker, not that this is fast and easy, but it is easy. It's just a little time consuming. But I want to see what that next stencil does because I can see it on here, but I can't see it enough to where I want to see what the design looks like. And if you don't need them, to dry and you want to move on and kind of do your thing, then you definitely want to continue on. Now, my Pretty Peacock is all layered on top of, oops, look at, I just took that off, but that's okay. I thought it was a piece of paper. Your Pretty Peacock is layered up on other colors. Now I'm going to use it for just the color. And we're going to do this and see what that looks like. So there's a circle right in the middle right there. And that's what we're going to look at to go straight through, right? So circle straight through. Now, if you're looking, you can tell that these dark circles are right in the center of these. Okay, so put that circle in there. Okay, kind of even those out. See where your little circles go on those little leaves. Now, if you look, you can tell that these dots here, and this is what I'm going to tell you, with the paste, these right here get clogged up really bad. Like if you're doing multiple, like I was trying to do, you don't get to see this because you would have to wash your stencil like every 1 or 2 times, and it was not fun. So I was bummed that I couldn't really see, and I'll show you, I'll hold that one up closer, but you really couldn't see the sparkle from the shimmer. Your 2 hearts are on the side of each. So that looks good right there where I want it. And now I'm going to come back in with Pretty Peacock and do all these little bits that are not layered up. So you're going to have your Pretty Peacock show up, not layered up. So it'll be just the pretty peacock color so we can see it. It'll look a little bit different than what's already on your card. And I kind of go in circles. That way you're getting it from every angle and you're getting these little spots all colored. All right. So there's that. Look how beautiful that is. How pretty that is. So now I can see the little spots. I can see the hearts. Whereas on this, although in person, it's very pretty. Let's see if you can see it. See how, like, this was the first one I did, so you can see the dots. But there's other ones that I did that there's no dots on there. You can't see them at all. And I really like the detail of the color versus the shimmer. Now, if I were to put color first and then do shimmer, it might pick up the color in the shimmer. I don't know. And it's white. It's not clear. So you may not get to see it anyway. I like to put these back on here because I like to save them and use them because you can reuse these over and over. So I'm just going to add these back here. And honestly, what I do with this is a lot of times, well, I put it on straight first of all, but put it underneath your glass mat. That way you can always just grab it when you need it and put it together. All right, well, for now, this is what it's going to be. Okay. So look how pretty that is. That is going to look completely different than this. Look at that. How much more detail the ink gives it versus the shimmer. And the shimmer, the paste is very, very pretty, but it's a pain, I will tell you. All right, so I wish I could use this one, but I don't have enough glimmer, so I'm going to save it and use it, and I'll show it to you guys later as something else. But we are going to put this card together. I'm going to show you another little tip and trick I did. So coming up with a sentiment was not easy. So I tried trying to think, all right, what sentiment do I want to use? Because the snowflake is so big. I mean, I really would have loved to use this Merry Christmas in silver. This is gold. But I would have loved it, but it's so big. And so I was like, okay. So then I pulled out, let me see, where did they go? I pulled out oh goodness, what did I do with them? Hold on. I pulled out the words, guys. Huh. I just had them here a second ago, and I was like, oh, I wanted to show you the option. All right, sit still. They're here. I know they are. Oh, here they are. Okay, so I did this other new set. Of course, you would think I would have had the name of it to show you, but that you can pull out what you do, and I'll do a video on this because it's really cool. But there's one called Let It Snow. I think it's this one. No, with love. There's all kinds in here. That's very cool. Let's see. With love, with love. Where's my Let It Snow? Okay. Well, there is a Let It Snow. Here it is. Here it is. All right. So here's a Let It Snow. So I thought that is really cute. But I did these at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and I wasn't going to do a whole bunch more. So I went ahead and stamped it like this. But I really love this because these are embossed. So see on the back side? And it's that embossing folder. Get this. It is so cool. And at first I thought, oh, that's too messy because when you put the ink on it, there's ink everywhere. It's everywhere that's not cut. It goes on the letters and then it might go in between. But when you cut everything out, it doesn't show all over. So it's just super cool. So I'm going to play with some more with this. And I have another idea with it too. So we'll play with that on the next video on Sunday. Because I have some idea that I want to play with that. All right. So anyway, What we're going to do is, let me wash off my stencil for the ink. The ink doesn't stain it. It's water-based ink anyway, but you know what happens is you set it over, or you move it, or you pick it up, and then you've got ink all over your hands, and then you're like, oh man. So I like to make sure I get those cleaned off right away so it's not a mess. All right, so what we're going to do is you're going to take your snowflake, and like I said, I did the larger snowflakes, so let me pull those in here so I can show you. These are the ones from Snowflake Kisses. So the center one here that I did it in the color. So I did it in the card base color, which is Pretty Peacock. I did these long ones here because you get a bunch of them. So I did those because at first, this card I did 3 of them. Okay, so let me back out. Okay, so I did 3, 1, 2, 3. But then today I decided, well, I need this big one for the center. So why not do this one and these 2 for the card? And then you don't have to do this one. You just do this one. So that's what I changed to, because I really thought, well, what am I going to do with this cute little guy? So you could put him inside, I guess. So what we're going to do is, this is how I did it. I'm going to take a silicone mat. We are going to add a glue because it is glimmer. I want to make sure it sticks. We are going to crisscross these where I don't want long on top of long. So we're going to go like this. And yes, the green, the Pretty Peacock covers up the tips of underneath, but you're going to lift the green up. So don't worry about that. The Pretty Peacock, you're going to lift that up. So we're just going to touch that down like that. And now we're going to take our snowflake, the bigger one of the group, and we're going to add glue again. And again, this time the snowflake will go in between the Pretty Peacock. Okay, and we're going to add that down. All right, so we're going to just set this aside now. It's ready to go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to take, we're going to move our small ones over here. We're going to take this because now it's done and it's put together. Okay, we are going to decide how we're going to do it. We're going to do it like this. And now I used retired ribbon because it matched perfectly, so I just had to. But where did it put it? You know, I had it. This is terrible. How come it's probably right in front of me? I know it is because I pulled it out and set it down right here so I would have it. Now all my other little projects up here are really hiding it. So see, here's my bucket of what I started, and I have a bunch here without any silver on it. So I've got to add those. Where did my ribbon go? Oh, it's right on top of the other ribbon, huh? But it has a big R on it because it's retired. Okay, so this one, oh, this is a new one. I used all my other ones. All right, so what I did, because it's retired, because I don't have a lot of it, instead of putting it all on the back, I decided we're going to do something different. So I'm going to take, this tip is going to be the top. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to run a bunch of seal right here. I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to make 3 loops, a couple inches. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to fold this over, and I'm going to, not exactly over, I'm going to move it over a little bit because I want to be able to add a dimensional on there. Okay, so here's the top. We're going to add a dimensional. Let's do this one closer. All right. And then let's do one more. And this one, I think I want it a little farther out. So I'm going to go up a little bit. And so we're going to add this one like right here. Okay, so we have our 2 pieces on there. And then I'm going to do one down here, right here. So it looks kind of like you have it all over, but you don't. And you're saving a whole lot of ribbon. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do that. I'm going to turn this over. That's my top. This is right here where I want it to go. Now, if you wanted just a straight piece so that it really looks like it's, you know, and you wanted to add, you know, another piece sticking out of the top and the bottom, kind of like that is your ribbon that you're doing, you can definitely do that. All right, now I'm going to add my dimensionals, and I want to definitely add it onto your ribbons. So I'm going to add one there, and that little piece. There goes my kitty. I told my husband, make sure you feed the cat so it doesn't meow. And sure enough, here she is. All right, we're going to add one here. And then I'm just going to add it around wherever you think. Another one there. I'm going to put another one over here. I'm putting a lot. And I'm going to put a couple here towards the center. Okay, that's good enough. All right, so now we're going to take all this off. Okay, so see how the ribbon's coming up right here? There's probably no seal right at that very spot. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue, like a tiny bit. Because that will, the ribbon will stick to the glue. Oh, boy, that lady, she really did my nails shorter, and I'm challenged. All right, let's take all these off. We got a new rug for our living room, and it was delivered down the street. And my husband comes walking in the door today, like at 2 o'clock. And I'm like, what are you doing home? And he's like, the lady down the street called me and said, your rug was delivered to my house. So I came and got it because I didn't want you to have to carry it home. Luckily, he works right down the street. All right, we're going to center it right there. And so thank goodness, because it was a huge 8 by 10 or 13 or whatever rug, and I didn't want to have to carry it. And now it's all curled up on the floor. The ends, I have them curled under because they are, you know, curling from being rolled up. All right, so we're going to take our, I'm going to put a little bit more right here. We're going to just add our snowflake here. Add the snowflake here. So you can add gems if you want. But I thought, shoot, we've got these snowflakes already done because I wanted that little one, right? So we're going to do that. We're going to take our Let It Snow and pop that up with our dimensionals. All right, so we're going to put that one, this one, and this one. And mainly because I have glimmer on here, I'm doing 3. I just want to make sure it's going to stick really well. And so we're just going to kind of tuck it under right here. And kind of where it's like in between the let and it, because I actually want to go a little higher. There we go. Make sure it's straight. All right, so there's that. Now the last thing, 2 things that I did, and I already did it on this one, is I added shimmer. I don't even think you guys can tell, but I added shimmer to the snowflakes after they were cut out. So it does have shimmer on it, and the one I use, we don't sell it, but the one I like is called Sheer Shimmer Craft Sparkle, and this one is just the sparkle color, which looks like it's silver, but it's really kind of comes out clear. And that's the one I like. I think you can get it off of Amazon. All right, and then the last thing I did is we're going to pull in our gems, which are these right here, the faceted snowflake gems. And on this one, because we have silver, I decided, first of all, I'm going to add a little bit of glue because I want to make sure my gem doesn't come off with that sparkle with the glimmer paper. And then I'm going to take a pretty peacock snowflake and add it right there in the middle. You do want to kind of pull up, I should have done this before I added that, but you do want to kind of pull up your snowflake, because even when it goes in a card and then it comes back out, it'll pop up a little bit versus if it just went on flat and stayed. I didn't really pull up the silver, the large one, just the two in the front. But now, my glasses on. I want to make sure that my middle snowflake's not going to go anywhere. So I'm going to slide that back down and push on it. There we go. Just make sure it's where you want it and push on it. Just hold it for a second and it'll be fine. I just kind of hold on to it for just a bit. Hi, Melanie. All right, so that'll adhere and stick. Just leave that, because this one sticks really well now. It's just overnight it'll do really well. But there you go. So there's our card. Again, I really, really like this snowflake. So the ones I'm gonna do, because I have a plan for another card. I'm going to do all of the ink and the dies. This one is for the shimmer paper, or glimmer paper. Sorry, not shimmer. Shimmer's the paste. And then this one is for the snowflake. And then that is all I use for this set. But there's two other snowflakes that you could actually layer it and then add to it if you wanted to. So those were where I got the larger ones, was Snowy Delight. So I'm using 3 different snowflake sets, 2 of the bundles, but the third was the DSP, is from the Elegant Pines one, because I just really wanted to do Pretty Peacock. So I have some different ideas for some different cards with this set, which I'm kind of in the middle of playing with. And so if you wanted to, you could also take the little ones and add them on here versus just the middle one. But I decided to just do the middle one and see what I liked about it and use these little snowflakes that we already have. So I hope you guys enjoyed the project. It was so much fun to create with. Let's see. Yeah, Marilyn. So the ribbon, especially if you're down to the end of a spool, and you know how when you are tying bows or doing whatever and you've only got like that much left, that's at least a card. So just make sure it's adhered well. So I like to do the seal, and then I like to put the dimensional on it to hold it on there. And then even if you want, you can add a little bit of glue, because once the glue sets, it's definitely not going to go anywhere. But yeah, so really cute. Lots of sparkle. Not hard. It looks hard. It's not. Follow the stencils. If it's easier for you, definitely take tape and just put tape, around it, and then do your stenciling and then take it off. And you don't have to clean them off in between. I like to, but you don't have to. Set them aside so you know that, don't stick your fingers in them or move them or anything. That way you can, I'm still trying to deal with this hair, but that way, you can know, where you're at and what you're doing, and not get your fingers all inky. It's so hot here. It's hot here too, Melanie, but you know what? I love getting ahead of the game on my Christmas cards. And as I'm doing videos and as I'm doing classes, that's how I kind of start coming up with what my Christmas cards are going to be. And so I like to play with it and kind of get an idea, because in October, when I go for my birthday retreat, we do, my upline and I, we both do and one of my downlines, we do a birthday retreat. And that's usually where we're making our Christmas cards. And so I need to come up with my ideas so I can prep and get as much ready as I can to take with me and work on. Purging in my craft room. Oh, wow. Nell, I'm impressed. I need to do more of that. I'll make sure I didn't miss anything, any questions. Oh, I'm glad you guys like it. So if you like this card, you are going to love the Elegant Pines Snowflake class. Everything is fancy fold. There's a home decor item. And there's a one that I had to order a special envelope for, but it's still, I think it's still standard shipping. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So thanks for joining me today. Oh, thanks, Deb. I don't know what the weather is. I had my thing turned off here. Let's see. It was, well, it's only 70 now. It is cooling off, but it was warmer earlier. But it was over in the hundreds a couple days ago, so I haven't been paying attention. If I don't have to go outside, then I don't look. So, all right. So, if you need any help or have any questions about anything, let me know. The new catalog is live, so enjoy, have fun. Don't forget the online exclusives. Remember, if you go to my blog right here at the top, it says online exclusives. Just click on it and it'll show you all the online exclusives. So it's a little bit easier. You can get to them through the website too. Just be aware that there's a lot of new stuff on there that you don't want to miss out. And a couple of the things today, I used the Snowy Kisses or Snowflake Kisses is on that, and the Elegant Pine Snowflakes also on online exclusive with a lot of other really nice things. So be sure to check it out and see what you can find. Oh, news. I talked to Stampin Storage on the phone today and about something completely different. I need to order another one of these, and apparently they don't make the 8.5 by 11 like this anymore to go in the calyx. They now do the max one, which is this with the top part. See how it's empty above there? They have a top part or where you could put paper up there. And so it's a new thing. And I said, well, that would be fine, except I already have these and I wanted one more to match it. So I like the idea of what they switched to because it gives you more storage and you don't have that empty space. But maybe that's where I want to hide my cookies, is behind my paper. No, just kidding. Anyway, oh, great, Melanie. Enjoy. Don't forget to check out online exclusives. Anyway, so they are kind enough that they're going to make me one. So yay. But I did ask them about storage for the new Stampin' Up! Cases and what's happening and what's coming up and what are they going to do. And if they had a new storage thought. And they are working on something. So they said they will have something out by the time we start getting the new packaging. So as soon as I know what that is, I will let you guys know. And so just kind of be aware of that. If you're still not quite sure what your changes are going to be, I shared what my changes are going to be on the last video, and I even linked some product below. So if you want to see what I'm going to be changing to, it is on my last video. Thank you so much, everybody, for the likes, and make sure you subscribe and share and all that good stuff. And I will see you on Sunday. Bye, everybody.